There are 169 different starting hands in Hold'em. This includes pocket pairs, suited hands, and offsuit hands, and they're all shown in this grid. Running along the middle diagonal are the pocket pairs. To the top and right side are the suited hands. The S stands for suited. For example, this hand, K9S, stands for King 9 suited, meaning the cards are of the same suit. An example of this would be the King of Diamonds and the 9 of Diamonds. On the bottom and left sides are the offsuit hands, indicated by an O. For example, JTO stands for Jack 10 offsuit. A Jack of Diamonds and a 10 of Clubs would be an example of this. Below the name of the hand, you'll see a number. Based on your results so far, this is the number of big blinds you've won or lost per 100 times you've played this hand. You'll see this measured quite often in these reports. In the poker world, this is a standard indicator of performance. If you haven't played this hand 100 times yet, don't worry, we multiply the number out for you. But realize that the fewer times you've played a hand, the less accurate this measure is in predicting your actual expected performance. You'll notice a small arrow next to this amount. This is the trend indicator. Our analyzer uses a formula to look at whether this number appears to be going higher or lower recently. It's always a good sign when you see this arrow pointing in the upward direction, but if it isn't, don't despair. It might just be a temporary swing in the downward direction. Notice you can hover over any cell in the grid to get more information about that hand. Let's take a look at King Queen suited. First, it tells us the name of the hand and how often it was dealt to you, and how often you played it. How often you played it only includes those times you voluntarily played the hand. In other words, if you're forced to play a hand from the big blind without putting in any additional money, that doesn't count. Below these you'll see several numbers measured in big blinds per 100 hands. The first number you see is the number of big blinds you are winning per 100 hands. This is the same number we saw before in the grid with the up or down arrow next to it. The next number is the target big blinds per 100 hands. This is a good number to shoot for. If your big blinds per 100 hands is better than the target value, you're doing well. Below this, you can also see how the average player on APT is doing and how the best, most winning players on APT are doing. The target value is currently defined as halfway between the average and best players' values. Finally, below this, you'll see a recommendation of when to play this hand. It says here King Queen suited is playable from all positions at the table. Some other hands might only be playable from middle position, late position, or not at all. You'll notice it says the top APT users are successfully playing this hand from all positions. In other words, our recommendation isn't just based on someone's opinion, it's based on actual data from tens of millions of hands played on APT. Below this, you'll see two very important choices. You can press View Hands to watch an interactive replay of every time you've been dealt this hand. If you're not winning as much as you expected with this hand, this is an easy way to examine what you did wrong. The next button, the Practice Now button, brings up the poker game. You can configure all the usual options, but when you hit the Submit button, you'll notice you will be dealt the hand you chose to practice, in this case King Queen suited, over and over again. And this works for any hand you hover over. What about all the different colors on the screen? We'll cover that in the next video. Thanks for watching and for using AdvancedPokerTraining.com.